And the NAPA Sim Series heads to Japan for now what is their turn for 94 laps here for race 7 of the NAPA Sim Cup Series. Yesterday, a good amount of this field was in the Xfinity Series race, and the Xfinity Series put on a show. And now it's the Cup guys, it's their turn to see if they can match that and do better. We have a few extra laps in today's race, and we have 4 extra cars to make this a 42 car field for today's race. And it's 2 past champions, Kermit and Dylan, on the front row. Neither of these drivers ran the Xfinity race yesterday. They just went out and put out flyers in qualifying to get themselves here on the front row. As I am Dylan, joined by Chris and Mac today. We will now head to you guys. Well, we all witnessed the chaos that occurred in the Xfinity race yesterday. Some great battles and some interesting crashes. And now the Cup guys are about to take the green flag. What do we think is going to happen in today's race?
We're going to see a lot faster pace. These cars are much faster than the Xfinity ones. And we're going to have a mix of guys that have experienced this track. They went through the Xfinity races to see what happened, get some experience at the track. And a lot of guys that opted not to, and are going to try and do it without the prior experience outside of their qualifying and practice laps. So I think there'll be a very, very interesting thing that'll happen with the dynamics of the field we have in play today.
And to add on to that, I think that with what we saw yesterday with track position and how crazy the restarts are, I think it's very important that if you're on that outside line, that you don't bleed too much time, because a story that we covered yesterday, Matthew started 4th place and he fell outside of the top 10 in the bottom half of the top 20. And Supra in the 80 fell into the top 25. So I think it's going to be a lot about just managing your stuff. And I also think it's going to be about just grinding it out. It's going to be a long race. This is a long racetrack, and we saw how long it took for Chase to try to get to Data, and Data himself did not start in the top 10. He grinded his way through the pack to get to the lead and never looked back.
Yeah, that Xfinity race was interesting. Napa Sims began a little bit more confident with double file restarts. We saw 2 of them in the Xfinity race, and both restarts drivers on the highline just bled time. There's very little grip up there. And while there might be a little bit more grip today with these cars having more speed and a bit more grip under their cars, you still do not want to be up there. In the long run, you can make that lane work, but in the early going of the run, if you can commit to that bottom lane, you can make some easy passes early on in this race. And also what Chris said, yeah, outside of the top 10 data, when we have some notable drivers outside the top 10, like typical, we got Bot, FXN's back there, Slash, and Discord Bot will be starting 40th in today's race after a major hiccup in qualifying. We will watch their progress as the race goes on to see how far they can make it up through the field. They got 94 laps. They got ample time to get to the front. Anywho, we're about ready to do the starting grid here for today's race in Japan. In row 1, 2 champions, Kermit and Dylan, will lead the field to green. And then back in row 2, that's another champion, Mythical, next to Internet. And back to row 3, that is Commander and Garrett. Row 4, Dan and Jacob. Row 5, we see Wayside and Iman Antioder. Back to row 6, SM and Cam. And in row 7, Typical and Ty.
Then in row 8, we've got Bot and Anna Kate. And row 9 sits with JJO and FXN. To round out our top 20 is going to be New and Montana. Then in row 11, we've got Slash and Junior in the target scheme. And in row 12, we've got Peyton and Vixterity. Then in row 13, we've got Stu and Matthew. And then in row 14, we have Mac and a surprising swap, Chasey Man in the 72.
In row 15, we have Chase in the 11 car. He got second yesterday in the Xfinity race, starting next to the 73 of Riley Davis Jr. Then in row 16, we got the 7 of Meme and the 98 of CJ Will. And then we got the 95 of Nacho, starting next to the 96 of Santa. And then we got the 53 of Mike, starting next to Doug. And then we got Javier. He ran the Xfinity race yesterday next to the 83 of Avery. And then we got the 31 of NASCAR Sim, starting next to Discord Bot. Terrible qualifying for him. And in the final row, we got the 52 Riku Sato starting next to the 27 of Jack.
42 drivers are ready to go. It's going to be an exciting one here in Japan. Who's going to be an inaugural winner in the Cup Series here in Motegi? Let's find out. Let's start the engines.
Drivers, start your engines!
The engines are fired. The nerves are beginning to set in. We're ready to race in Japan. Let's get this thing underway. And the field is rolling here on this back straightaway as we are ready to go. As said in the pre-race, some drivers got a little bit of experience in the Xfinity race, but other than that, most of these drivers are about to head off into turn one for the first time with all these other cars right next to them. We'll see how everyone handles it. 94 laps to kick off the inaugural Cup Series race in Japan. It's Kermit, it's Dylan, leading the field to green, and off turn 4, we are ready to go. The flagman's waving the green flag and we are underway. Let's race in Japan.
As let's see, they're all going to start getting out the turn one. There's immediately 3x3 action in the mid-pack. We even have some 4 wide here to start it off. Big run on the bottom. Kermit out to the early lead. Mythical and Dan has already shot up from P7 to P3 in the early stages of the early going here. We have 3 wide action there for about 10th. Mythical and Dan P2, P3. Dylan will look like he'll settle it out at P4. Lap 1 completed. Kermit will get the first lap sled here in the Cup Series.
Cam had a fantastic start there. He went from it outside the top 5 now into 4th place, and behind him, Wayside also had a fantastic start. And SMCMT in the 24 car is starting to come forward as well. But like you said, the 77 Kermit consolidating well. Mythical that started behind him got around to 2nd place as well. Dylan started 2nd, is now in 4th place. Typical as well had a good race yesterday in the Xfinity race. He's going forward.
And Typical looking to get up into that 9th position already. It looks like he will take it. Slash trying to move into the top 10 early, and Vic Sterry trying to make moves as shown here. Look at the bottom lane roll. Guys that had a good start to this race in qualifying. Good start to the weekend, my mistake. Like Ivan Angiot or Jacob. They're stuck on that high lane. They've already faded to around outside the top 20. Jacob now trying to blend in on that bottom lane. Mean can't get to the bottom now. Nacho will try to get there, but again, that's just what. Ooh, a little bit of contact there between those two. As early on, these drivers are now getting to the bottom now, but there's no grip on that high lane. You are not able to roll the top early on, and that's why Dylan's already faded back to 5th. Bad start on the outside line, and it looks like Mythical has taken the lead from Kermit there on the front stretch.
Dan is currently behind that 77 machine. Kermit lost the lead there to Mythical, and Dan early on, along with his teammate behind him, seemed to be a bit racy. They have speed as Kermit has a good exit out of turn 4, currently on the back bumper of that Coca-Cola machine, but trying to maybe set him up, but he can't quite do it here. He's close though. And he's gonna try and cut inside of turn 2. He is right there on the back bumper of Mythical, but like we kind of alluded to in the pre-race, it's gonna be a long race. We saw in the Xfinity race how we had a long run going, and Kermit to the inside there of Mythical will get the pass done, but I expect it's not gonna be done because Dan is right there. Dan might try to get them both if they're not careful.
Following out, Mythical looks like he's seeking the crossover, but he couldn't complete it. Now Cam's entering this battle from below the top 10, I believe, or close to that. And now Dan to the inside of Mythical down the back straightaway, trying to take P2 from him. And as they enter turn 3, he's in great position to grab that spot. And into 3 and 4, and Mythical's gonna fight. Wasn't gonna be as effortless as he thought he was. And still side by side, coming to the line, but Kermit at the lead. Now in the second.
Oh! Contact there! Back half of the pack. Stu in the wall. And it looks like Doug might have been the one that got into him there. We stay green, but that is a lot of damage that Stu might have to overcome here. I wouldn't be surprised if this team comes down for some repairs. I mean, you get such a run off exit. And I guess Doug just might have misjudged it there just a little bit. Mythical will now fall back to fourth, and these two continue to shine week in and week out. Dan and Cam, both of them, every race, are right around the front of the pack. There's Stu coming down. He's going to get some repairs. He's definitely going to go at least one lap down. He'll need a caution, but there was a lot of time for that to happen to get himself back in this race. But with these two, every race they're showing out. And these two get a little bit racier. Cam wants to get to the bottom, but Dan, just like always, is going to cover the position. He'll hold on to P2 as Kermit will continue to get some early lap sled.
There's a lot now fighting into the top 5. He's turned out the top 10 too.
Good.
As we kind of scan through this field here, first little check-in on Discord bot. He is rolling. He just took 19th. We are 9 laps into this race. If you can roll that bottom, you can pass a lot of cars early. Just got around Garrett and Peyton. He's moving early in this race, but it's early to pass. It's really easy to pass these cars early that are usually a bit more off the pace. But then once you begin to get to this group of guys, like typical SM, Internet, Commander, guys that are right around the fringes of the top 10, top 15, that's where these passes are not going to be easy, because these are drivers that are at the front a lot more and can hold off Discord Bot. But for now, he's making some early passes. Here comes Dan to the bottom, trying to take the lead. He has a bit of a run on Kermit, can side draft him a little bit and make the pass here in 3 and 4. Let's see if he can.
And they're side by side now in the 3 and 4. Dan on the bottom, Kermit on the top. We saw that outside line work yesterday, but not this time. Kermit has to concede, but here comes Cam as well. Cam and Mythical, but they can't make the move right now in the 1 and 2. Good defense there by Kermit, consolidating, not allowing that 15 machine to get to his inside, to his quarter panel, but that allows Wayside behind him to get there, and I wouldn't even be surprised if the cars behind them and that pack caught up as well. But now they're just stacked up. Here comes Wayside to the inside of Mythical now. Not quite. Mythical holds on, but like I said, Kermit playing defense. That 15 of Cam has been fast all season so far, like Dylan alluded to earlier, and Cam is going to get to the inside now and clear him easily. Bad corner by Kermit.
Get there, maybe he does.
Good run.
Yeah, Mythical got there.
Now can he make
Wayside's
the
also
pass?
side pushing him.
Almost 3 wide there in 3 and 4. Kermit's still starting to fade slightly. Gets a decent run off exit, but that's the second time in a row he just goes a little bit too deep there off exit. He's turning what is now his 13th lap here with 41 other cars on track, so still trying to get a little bit more experience that some guys like Mythical and Wayside already have run the Xfinity race, but still running right around the top 5. Kermit's been fast this season. He had a little bit of a quiet year last season, but this season so far, in almost every race, he has shown top 10 speed week in and week out. As he watches this battle for third, Wayside uses Mythical up a little bit. It's going to almost force him to get off the gas, but Mythical doesn't budge. He stays in the gas, but now this is the true test. Can he stay ahead of Wayside in 1 and 2? Doesn't look like it. He's going to try to run that upper groove, and it's not really going to work out.
He went too wide, I think. Oh, he tried to get a run there off the exit, but he couldn't. But that might salvage P4 potentially.
I would look behind them because that is Slash, that is typical coming. They are rapid, and so is a 40 car as well behind them, a bot. And side by side, Kermit to the inside of Mythical doing a crossover, but here comes Slash, here comes the dodges.
Yeah, and you can very easily become a sitting duck on that top line early on. If one car starts getting by and there's a bunch of others, especially if they're quick, you could start losing positions in a hurry. We saw that to a couple of the people who led some laps in the Xfinity race yesterday, and we're starting to see that effect show itself today as well.
Ooh, typical. Almost gets in the mythical there off exit. Slash started outside the top 10, maybe even outside the top 20. I don't 100% remember. He has moved up into the top 5, getting by mythical. And Dan, he was atrocious in the Xfinity race, but just like always, the Cup car, he just has a feel for this car. Leading early with this teammate hounding him down. Dan cannot gap the 15. And gets a good run there in the 3 and 4, but Cam staying right on him.
I'll tell you what though, neither of them are gapping that 9-2 behind them because Wayside seems to be a bit fast early in this run, and he's sort of playing spoiler to the damn Motorsports cars because he's the only one in this top 3 that's not a Chevy and not a teammate, and behind them, Kermit under pressure once again from Slash. Slash tried to go to the inside out of turn 2. Couldn't make the move work. Tries to set up into turn 3, but can't quite get to the inside of him. But like I said, Wayside trying to play spoiler to the damn Motorsports cars. Oh, Kermit got burnt wide out 4, but Slash couldn't capitalize, and Mythical got closer as well. Bob's got past Typical as well.
Yeah, and then that 77 is starting to flail. It's starting to flail here as this run goes on. He's getting weaker and weaker. The cars around him are getting stronger and stronger.
Yeah, Slash is definitely strong early. There he goes, making a move for P4. Under Kermit. He'll drive it in and try and take this spot, but Kermit holds his own on that outside. But he's made a few mistakes off exit again. Just gotta. We saw a lot of drivers in the Xfinity race. Just that wall kind of comes at you in a hurry and you have to get off the gas. Slash will take P4. Mythical has a run but can't get it. Kermit will slide into P5 as these two drivers still battling. I feel like Cam is not using 100% of his stuff right now. He's noted that that's his teammate in front of him. It's still early. We're already coming to lap 20 though, but early on just setting the tone here. These two are able to keep a decent pace over the 92 of Wayside. But I wonder how long Cam's going to take before he might think about making this move. He has a good run right here. I still don't think it'll be enough to take it. We'll see here off in the 1. But Dan has led about 10 laps so far. He's setting the pace early here in the Cup Series.
I think they might have to be careful though, because we saw yesterday Data did not start particularly well, but he moved his way forward slowly, and I think that's the role that Slash is in right now, because Slash has already caught up to Wayside, and I think it's a matter of when, not if, he's going to pass that 92 machine. As bad corner there by the 15 of Cam. He lost a bunch of time there as Mythical there as he goes to the inside of Kermit and try to get that position done, but like I said, I think Slash might play a big role here as we see SM's a spot there.
That's FXN taking that spot. How about Anike having a decent run early up into 11th? This Alberto team has been impressing early on in the Cup Series. Her and Peyton have been the two that have shined. Peyton's a little bit further back, but Anike trying to move forward. Anike, another driver that did not run the Xfinity race and is just slowly gaining everything right now in this Cup race. She's making it work right now is Commander Bad Corner. That's going to allow Dylan to get to his inside. New as well. He's starting to move forward a little bit. Garrett right behind him. And we got a little trio of veterans here with Jacob, Mack, and Jr. all battling right outside the top 20. But early on in this race, everyone's kind of setting the tone here. Some drivers have been able to move forward, like Discord by, he's moving forward, and some drivers just have not been able to move forward as much, like Dylan in the 61, who has lost many positions here early on.
FXMP9, he has had a pretty atrocious start to this season. I think there's one time, we have a caution.
Caution is out. Oh no, it's Riku Sato.
Sato.
It's Riku Sato in the 52, making his debut in the Cup Series. Ran the Xfinity race yesterday, kind of just kept the car clean. Came home with a lead lap finish. That's about all that 47 team expects. Did a decent job. Here in the 52 car today, which has had some good runs so far this season. Riku Sato was running in kind of near the back of the pack, and seems like someone definitely got into him here to send him into the outside wall. Dan is the leader over Cam. Well, let's see what happened to the rookie. Here we go in the one. Watch what happens. As you see there, Stu just got off the gas a little bit. I think Riku Sato just slightly overreacted. Avery didn't really have anywhere to go there. Early caution, and nonetheless, Stu will be the free pass. We're going to go back green here in a second. Ready to go back green here. We had a select few come down pit road. A few guys in the back decide, hey, let's put some tires on this thing, make some adjustments, see what happens. But the rest of the field stayed out. That was a little bit early to come down pit road. And it will keep the two Dan drivers on the front row. Dan Motorsports drivers, Dan himself and Cam. Lead them back to the green. Let's see how this outside line fares out here. It'll be lap 27 on the restart. We're back underway.
Oh, that's a huge start from Cam in the turn one. Seeing he can hold it here, maybe steal the lead. And we are filing out already. Ooh, oh man, Bot just lost so many spots out of that corner. And Dan is gonna hold the lead. It looks like Cam did not use that good start to his advantage. And now he is going to drop big time more than likely.
Yeah, he might slot in the fourth right here. Yeah, he does. Ooh, typical in the wall there off exit. Tried to get a little bit more than he had there. And welcome to the top 10 Discord bot. There's a reason why he has 2 wins in a row. Lap 28, he has gained 30 spots practically. He is right up here in the top 10. I mean, what a drive
Might
for
get
him
another
early.
one here.
Yeah, looking under Anna Kate, who's also running in the top 10. It is messy all over the place here. These drivers know that these restarts, they got to take advantage. Here's Jacob trying to get a spot on Dexterity. FXN is there. Peyton, Chase. And this is all right outside the top 10, more towards the top 20 range. Some drivers trying to salvage their days here early on here with some passenger on this restart. Nacho looking under Commander for a spot. Commander struggling here early on in this race. He's going to grab it. Ty, one of our cars that pitted, trying to make some moves as well up near the top 20. Good race for Nacho early on. Just passed one of our drivers that have 2 wins this season.
Yeah,
Disqualified might look to make it 3 wide there. I'm sorry to cut you off, Chris, but I think Disqualified just made it 3 wide there. Oh, and it's going to get real tight. S7's in the middle, too.
He got loose there off exit. Mythical actually might prevail because Disqualified got way loose off exit. He had to get way out of the gas. And will now slot in right ahead of Garrett and Anarchy. Oh, bad corner for Mythical.
Yeah, I was gonna say earlier that Nacho got a bit physical passing Commander, but we mentioned it earlier in the pre-race about that high side and how risky that is on the start, and Mythical lost a bunch of places from starting on the outside line, and another one is Cam. Cam started second with Dan, and now he's lost, or he did lose a spot there to Slash. He got back around him, but we are starting to see just how crucial these restarts are, like they were yesterday, as now under pressure, Mythical about to bleed more positions. Dexterity to his inside, SMCMT earlier passed him, and now looks like he's going to another spot as Dan continues to lead the way. Wayside in second, and Cam trying to recover his places that he lost.
Man, right there, that's tight off exit. I'm an Ancio there with SM. There's 3 Sunbelt cars right here, Dexterity, SM, and Mythical. Dexterity has had a tough going earlier on this year compared to his other Sunbelt teammates, but making some moves right now. That's a top 10 he is in right now. Now looking for 9th under Garrett. Looks like he's going to grab that spot on that preferred inside line. And Anarchy cuts in front of Mythical and looks to go around I'm an Ancio there. Mythical bleeding time here, stuck on the outside lane. Now he has a chance to get going here. try to get by Annika, but Annika holds her own nicely and will prevail. It looks like she will move up into the 12th position, right behind SM, who's in 11th.
Yep, and the name on the back 1-2 now. As now Slash wants third on Wayside. He got to the inside off the edge of the 2, and he might clear him. Yes, he will, I think. I think he cleared him, yep.
Good move.
Great move by Slash. Now he's going to look to attack that number 15 of Cam. And now Wayside are attacking typical and Kermit and Discord bot.
You gotta watch out for Discord bot. He's just been climbing, and well, he was definitely able to make some passes here on that restart. But now that we're single filing back out, he's kind of stalled in that 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th range there a little bit. Trying to make a move on Kermit and trying to make a move for the lead. Cam under his teammate trying to finally make the pass. Can he get under him? He got a lep on that restart. Now trying to get some more. What a fight from Dan though, but Cam trying to prevail. Oh, he runs him a little bit up the track. Dan's gonna have a little bit of a run off the exit. He'll hold the lead for now. What does Slash do into turn 1? Cam drives it in and will grab it, but Slash, what a drive he's having right now. He is clear to second.
Yeah, and Slash, usually a super speedway guy, that's where his wins primarily come from, but he can be fast on quite a few of these ovals, especially an oval like this where there is still some drafting factor. He can get some very big runs on the on the straightaways on people, so that kind of, pseudo speedway to super speedway racing works very well for Slash, and it also works with other tracks like Atlanta and such that have this kind of style of racing.
We see how momentum is a big thing in real life, and we're seeing, and Discord bot behind them is passing the center of Kermit right now, or well, he was passing Kermit. I saw him make a move to the inside on the front straightaway, but it seems he lost a bunch of time there. But I just have to mention this real quick about Discord bot. He started 40th. He started in the second to last row in this race, and he has moved up by at least 20 or 30 or so spots since then, now sitting in that 7th position, and he is coming. And right now, Dylan to the inside of the 14. This is a gaggle of cars right here. Him and all the Sunbelt cars there behind him. Mac is in there, FXN is in there. Crazy stuff as Dan and Cam continue to lead the way.
We have a huge clump here.
A lot of cars here. Ivan Antioder gets around his teammate, and here comes Ty. He pitted for tires, and I think this call is working. He is moving up to 13th. This is 12th right here. The move for tires is looking really good. Ty was in the mid-20s when that first caution came out. He put tires on the car, and suddenly he's a whole new driver. Now up in the 12th. SM might look to make a move there, and he will. Kind of gave up that bottom a little bit. He can't do that, but oh, what a drive through the middle of the corner. And he will hold that 12th spot, and SM kind of stacks this field up behind him. Jacob was doing well a few laps ago, but a few laps stuck on the high side. Look what it did to him. Now put him in the clutches of Garrett. Here comes Mackin. Will get below Dylan. Almost made contact. That runs Dylan almost up into the wall. You gotta do what you gotta do here to make these passes, and has a chance to fight another day. But now Dylan now has a chance to cross him back over and get to his inside. That's exactly what he will do.
Yeah, gonna follow the number 9 machine, and we've got a stack up starting to build behind that 15 of Cam. If you can tell by that overhead view, we've got a stack up starting to form.
That's right, Slash on his rear bumper.
Here he goes.
Three behind him caught up. He goes to the inside now of Cam out of turn 2. He's going to get to the corner. He's going to try to side draft him on the back straightaway as they enter into 3 and 4. That's going to help Dan get into this battle. And like I said earlier, don't look far behind him. That is Discord bot, Wayside, the 99 of Dexterity bot, and the 50 as well. Going to try and get into this battle. There are 9 cars vying for this lead right now, as Slash takes the lead. Cam.
Oh, and Dan
And now
gonna
Dan's
follow.
gonna fall right in there.
Yeah, right in there. Dan sees an opportunity. He's going to take it. But Cam gets a decent run off exit. He might get boxed in here, though. He's going to try and get the outside. Slash gave him it, but he might just have to try and slide in here the third if he can. Typical there. He's moved up here into the picture. Gets a little bit tight there off exit. They'll try and slide in the third. Here comes Typical. Cam can't get there, can't get to the inside. Typical now has a chance to take third, but now Slash, who's been moving to the front of this tire race, he now has sole possession of this lead. And usually at most tracks, you wouldn't think Slash to be right up here battling for the lead, but he's had a bit of a special year. Early on in the year, got in crashes at Daytona and had mechanical issues at Texas, the first and third race of the year. And we were a little bit worried about Slash. And then Phoenix, he had a great run. Vegas, he was up near the front.
Here goes Typical to the inside of Dan.
And then at Auto Club, Slash won the pole and was pretty fast until getting up in a few issues. So Slash just proved that he can keep up with these guys. And as they battle for second, as Max said, Typical takes that spot. Two Dodgers now set themselves up at the front, but Slash loves this racing. He's going to try and gap this field a little bit. But just like the Xfinity race, you can get about a 1 second lead, but then the field kind of comes back to you, just like we've seen a lot this year. There's a lot of draft here in these cars, and you get to see it. It keeps the field pretty close together and allows for some pretty good racing.
Real quick, I noticed that Discord Bot lost 2 places there, while Slash was going by Cam, and so was Typical. Discord Bot got passed by Dexterity, and he also got passed by Wayside, and I think Bob behind him is next to pass him. Discord Bot cannot be said enough. He worked his way through the field, was in 7th, now currently sitting in 8th, and right now just trying to consolidate. But right now the Dodgers seem to be pretty fast. You mentioned earlier, Dylan, how Ty hit for tires. He started deep in the field because of that, and he is coming. That's Ty to the inside of Anakate now. And might get to 10th place. Mythical trying to follow behind him, and he does get 10th place. Good run for Ty.
I also want to point out real quick, see that 62 car of Matthew? He pitted for tires, but he came down pit road a few laps ago, I'm hearing. If you look at the ticker, he is a lap down. He came down pit road a few laps ago saying he felt a vibration. Maybe during the pit stop, pit crew might have made a mistake, loose wheel or something. They had to come down pit road and change right side tires. He is down a lap. Now we've already seen 1 caution today, so it is very possible that he could get that lap back, but right now he is 1 lap down and is hoping for a few things to go his way because, well, he's the only car left down, but he's in dead last with Riku Sato still on the track in 4th gear. So Matthew's hoping for a lucky break, but blending in with these guys in the top 15, seems like he has that speed. But he needs to get his lap back first of all to even have a chance, as Cam moves up to 2nd, Dan up in the 3rd. Typical slightly fades and splits up the 2 Dodges.
Yep, and now Kermit looking to attack that 23 machine as well. Ooh, almost wrecked him there. As now these 2 battle down the back straightaway. Kermit wanted to get P4 right back from that 23 machine. In the 3 and 4, Typical got a bit of a run, got the draft of the 97, and now turn 3 and 4 will be the important part for this battle. Can Typical hold the spot? No, Kermit will clear Dexterity up the 6th. Great run for him to start off.
I see Ty. He is up into the top 10, and he is running the fastest laps on track by a wide margin. The last 10 laps, he's been the fastest car on track. We saw a good 10 to 15 cars come down and put on tires, but he's the only one that's made notable progress. I'm going to try and find the next car that put on tires. I think it was Peyton. Might have been Peyton. Someone back here. But maybe Riley Davis Jr. All the guys that put on tires have seen no effect to it. Practically even with the rest of the field. But Ty, he put on tires and something just electrified in his race car because he is flying, running the quickest laps on the racetrack. I watch him cut down another 10th to the leader on the ticker. He is flying. Discord got up the track. He goes up the, he went up the track right there, 3 wide. Wayside's now there. Oh, that gets tight, but here comes Ty. He is flying. He might make it 3 wide here. Does he have the run to do it? He is flying. Oh, Ty is flying. Those tires are going to get him to the front here before long. And I wouldn't be surprised here if, oh man, that's tight 3 wide. If we get another caution, I wonder if these drivers are going to alert to this and all come down and get tires. We saw in the Xfinity race, drivers made some adjustments under the cautions, and we saw some drivers fade off planet Earth. Ty, though, was one of the few to actually pit on the first caution, and he is ascended, making really, really good time and struggling a little bit to get by Discord on Wayside, but he is still moving his Slash. Continues to set the pace, and so do the other 2 Dan cars. These seem like the 3 cars to beat right now. They've set blazing pace over most of the field.
Yeah, and I see people trying to set up Slash here right now.
Can't quite do it though. Maybe.
No, not really. Slash was really good there through the middle of the corner. You saw him kind of get on the gas. Felt good about that race car. This is kind of now that point of the race where things get a little bit tame. We could see a lot of traffic here before long. It's getting a little bit tame here at the front. This is kind of the part of the run we're past halfway. The tires are definitely wearing a little bit. And this is where these drivers now have gotten 50 laps under their belts. All these drivers that have gotten the experience they need, where they're going to feel confident about the race cars to try and make moves. Vixteri for 5th, Dan for 2nd. Dan will easily take it there. Camp just basically has to concede. Dan is a really good car, and he's able to roll that bottom well. And Vixteri, welcome to the top 5 for the first time this season, maybe?
Yeah,
No, I don't think so, but nonetheless, great
too.
run for him. Sorry, Chris, you can continue.
But I was gonna say that I've been noticing his progress over the run. Like, he was another car that started in the top 10 or so on the restart, and he's been slowly moving his way forward, and might have been making more progress here, trying to go to the inside of typical, but typical drives it in deep, tries to defend himself.
What a run.
Here comes that mid-corner speed from Vixterity to the inside of the 23. Goes Vixterity, trying to go further, but again, Dylan, I gotta mention what you said earlier about Ty. Ty is gonna go to the inside of Discord Bot. Might even go for a bot in front of him. Ty, the fastest car on track, but he got stalled out a bit trying to pass Wayside, and Discord Bot might not make life easy for him either, but Ty will get around him. And here comes Vixterity now to the inside of typical. Oh, contact, I think, between Discord Bot and Ty.
Discord Bot got a huge run in turn 1, yeah, and trying to hold P8. And they still side by side down the backstretch. Into 3. Can Ty clear him? Discord Bot's been fighting him hard as he can, but it's not going to be enough. Ty into P8, but it's not over yet. Discord Bot, another run on the outside. Down the front stretch now as we go on the lap 55. Discord Bot is fighting the living hell out of Ty. He does not want to give up the spot, but now here comes Mythical soaring in. But Ty has a bad corner in turn 1. Ty responds back in turn 2. Soaring to soar past by that 55. And he finally clears Discord Bot. And now Mythical trying to take the spot. Oh wait, is Discord Bot back? He might be back in that spot. No, Ty's going to block him off finally and end their battle for P8.
Wow, what a good battle there. I think this is the point where now Ty's tires are pretty much evened out with the rest of the field. His progress has slowed down, but he's also just straight up reached better competition. But still, what a call from that team to tell him, hey, come on in. Well, let's pit a little bit earlier than the rest of the field will. And it's going to work out. We don't usually see green flag pit stops, at least anymore. So cautions are where you make it work, and he's up to P8. And I think if there's another caution, oh man, look at that driving. I think this team's going to note of this, and I think we're going to see everyone out here around here to get some fresh rubbers. Mythical trying to hang on to P10. Wayside faded out of the top 10, trying to get back into it, and got a pair of Alberto drivers, Anna Kane 12th and Matthew, hoping for a caution to get back on the lead lap. And we got some more battles here a little bit further back on track. Mac here in the 9.
Yeah, Mac trying to get by the 20 Garrett.
He's
see
running
if he
15th.
can get something there.
Ooh, man. Both of these drivers have kind of just been right around the mid-teens all race long. Just kind of just making it work. And so far, Mac has been kind of steadily progressing, but Gary, he's kind of been stagnant around in the same kind of area the entire race. Discord Bot back under Ty once again. Discord Bot, he's trying to go for 3 in a row, and his progress has definitely stopped ever since. Oh, contact with his teammate! He bumped his teammate out of the way! Oh, Mythical nearly gets in the tie. Oh, man, Bot definitely is not going to like that. Discord Bot bump and runs his teammate on lap 59 in Motegi. Wow, I did not expect that. These two are always in sync. But looks like that time Discord Bot says, hey, I gotta go. He takes that spot. Mythical takes advantage of the contact. He moves up into P8. Wayside back into the top 10 as Ty begins to fade once again. Typical back under Dexterity as Slash still holds the lead.
I think Ty will have some choice words for him as well, because that bump and run by Discord Bot put Bot into that 50-50 scene, forcing him up the track, and Ty has lost a bunch of places because of that. And like you said earlier, Dylan, I think we're starting to see that these guys are taking note of that car and with the fresh tires, and if we get under caution here, they might pit for tires. But and right here we have Cam and Dan trying to get around Slash, but they can't quite do it.
We got to run here though.
Yeah, we gotta see if they get something going here. The damn Motorsports cars trying to get by the 39 of Slash, who has kind of taken control of this race ever since he got the lead from Dan. And well, Dan, speaking of, lurking on that bumper trying to get by him.
Oh boy, here we go. Off in the 3, and now Cam says, let me try. Slash been able to set a good pace ever since he's taken the lead. It's kind of what Dan was able to do in the early part of the run. Once he got the lead, he was kind of just able to just kind of hold his own. And most drivers weren't really able to get to the inside. If you can kind of just hog that bottom lane, it's kind of hard to make passes. But you also have to have a good handling race car, because you can't slip up the track and leave yourself vulnerable to a driver to get in below you. To have a good handling race car, you can hold that bottom lane, and both Slash and Dan have been really good at it. Here comes Dan, though. This is the best chance he's had in about 30 laps. He will take the lead back. What a battle we've had here for the lead. Lap traffic is approaching soon. I mean, it's definitely, in my opinion, going to come down to one of these. I want to say 3, but Typical and now Dexterity. They've been just slowly approaching, but Dan back in front here in Japan.
Look out for the crossover, though.
Or not.
Yeah, there it is.
Run. Here it comes.
Wow. Or not. Slash.
Cam.
Oh boy here. What are we going to see here off into turn 3? Cam. 3 wide. Oh, Slash will try and shut the door. He will hold the lead. Cam now battling his teammate for P2. Slash let Dan have custody for the lead for a lap before said, all right, I want it back. He takes it back. Dan, though, with a good entry in the 1.
Also, Slash ran wide. Might have an open lane of attack.
Here we go again.
Slash crossed him over, and Dan said, I'll do the same thing too.
Oh boy, side by side. And Dan just takes it. I think Slash might have let off there and said, all right, you take the spot. I'm going to hold this bottom lane.
Lap car.
Who will, yeah. Catching CJ and the mangled Riku Sato. These two getting pretty much their first taste in a cup car this season. You can see they're just slightly off the pace compared to the rest of the field. Just making it work so far, but yeah, left cars looks like it will become a little bit of an issue here, and my curiosity now compels me because we haven't really seen much left traffic this year. This will be a good test here. We're going to see a lot of left traffic coming up in the next few weeks here in these short track stretches coming up, but this isn't really a short track, just kind of one of those interesting flat tracks that we go to here in the schedule, as Dan will come up on the 98 car, go by him, and 5 cars under a blanket. These 5 have been able to gap the field. Discordbot's up to P6, and look, he is right there. He can see the leader in his sight. Discordbot still has a chance, but he's got a bit of work to do. CJ didn't think he was going to get out of the way, but he sees that most of the field's a lot quicker than him. He will let him by, and here comes Vixterity.
3-1!
Wow, Vixterity.
Typical CJ!
I haven't seen this type of speed out of Vixterity since late last season. He is making it work. Can he get the runoff exit? He'll get enough of a run. The side draft typical, bring him back and take P4. Vixterity's got a serious chance here to contend for this win here. But he's got to outduel these 3. These 3 have been the 3 quickest cars practically the entire race. And now, Vixterity has all 3 of them in sight, but Typical's still right there fighting him. And we got more left cars in the way.
Yeah, we got Ricky Sauter might be they might be battling here, might try to get in that 31 of NASCAR sim.
We had a great run in the Xfinity race, but she can't really get the job done today. In the 31, Dan will get underneath him. This is crucial. You cannot make any mistake here, because if you do, and you let Slash get back into your grasp, that is not good. Oh, he messes up that entry. Look at Slash. Big run. Oh, my goodness.
3-1 almost.
Whoa, Riku
Oh,
Sato.
what a stand!
Oh, my goodness. What a pass by Slash. That is unbelievable. Dan, he drove it in to get by the 52. He drove it in to get by the 52, and he drove it in too much. And Riku Sato, he's fighting for, you know, the free pass. He wants to get back on the lead lap and not have to worry about it. Dan just messed up. Riku Sato ends up letting the 97 by, but that lets Slash get back to the lead, and now they all have to get around this 52. Vixterity typical, and there is Discordbot. He is right there in the picture. And now the rest of the field will try and navigate their way around the 98 of CJ. As we get by this traffic here, Slash back out front. It's a mess behind him.
Yeah, we still got some good battling happening. Typical trying to look at it inside of Xterity potentially. We got more lap traffic coming up to you very shortly. Avery and Javier will be coming up next after this. And lap traffic has certainly made things a whole lot more interesting. As now Xterity at the third, Discordbot into the top of the first time today, and things get very interesting. Typical to the inside of Xterity. Huge run off turn 2. He's gonna clear him before he even exits the turn.
Great move there. Great move, puts himself back in the third, and Discordbot's entered the top 5. He is fast, but Slash and Dan have been really stinking fast. Slash trying to put a little bit of a gap down now that he is there. Seeing if he can do it. Oh, we got a spinner. Around goes CJ. That's going to bring out the caution. Contact there with that might have been Matthew in 62. And this race has got interesting. Matthew already a lap down, by the way. No longer in the free pass position with NASCAR Sim getting lapped. And the 98 there might have just gotten in his way there. I think we're still, yeah, oh wow, we're still racing back here. Discordbot, he's going to take P3. He's going to get the inside line on the restart, it looks like there. P3 at the line. Caution is out. 72 laps in. Expect a lot of this field here to probably get some adjustments, so we're gonna see who are gonna be the quickest cars here nearing the end of this run. It's gonna be exciting. But first, let's see what happened to the STP 98 of CJ.
What happens here as Matthew gets stuck behind this 98? You know, Matthew is a lap down. He just wants to get back on the lead lap. He gets hooked in a 98 and just does not let go. I don't really know what you can say about that. That just does. It is not a good look at Matthew, in my opinion. But maybe the other team could have something to say about it.
I mean, if you're the 98, you are slower, trying to get out of the way, but I mean, we've gone 72 laps and it hasn't really been an issue much this race. The drivers are kind of sending on each other. I don't know. Matthew will not get back on the lead lap, though. That will go to NASCAR Sim. Matthew will have another chance, though, on this restart as he tangles up with another left car.
So here we go, out of turn 4. notice Matthew gets to the quarter panel of CJ and just turns him around. Like Max said, I just don't know what to really say about that.
This was a live shot that everyone saw it on. I mean, yeah. We'll see though. Matthew will now get to race the 98 from the free pass, so that will be interesting. We're going to see this field come down pit road here. Everyone will be ready to go for a shootout to the finish. Here we go. We're going to have 20 laps to go at the line. Will we see another caution? Who knows? But it will be Slash and Dan leading the field back to the green here. Dan's got a lot of work to do if he wants to hold this front row here. Outside's been a little bit better this race, but not great. And Discord bot, he's in P3 with a chance to pounce. Good jump on the restart and back underway. Is he going to go for it?
I think he is. He's gonna go for it.
Oh, but look at
Oh, but I don't think it's there. It's not there at all.
Wow.
Oh, and Mythical's gonna shoot it through the middle.
Oh,
we're
wow.
hugely stacked up.
Oh my goodness. Discord bot felt a little bit too confident there off in the turn one. Discord bot gonna lose some spots there. Dexterity, he's gonna make it work. Look at this, maybe he's looking for P2. Oh, Mythical gets into Discord bot. Somehow, some way, this has backfired on the driver in row 2 on the inside. Dan actually holds second after all that. What a drive. And this could be the last restart. We don't know that. But these drivers, they don't know it either. They're all going out of here knowing that they need this track position to have a chance here at the end. Typical, and now Cam is fading back. Track position not going well for Cam here after being so competitive. Bob trying to make a move on Kermit. Ty still in the mix. Here comes FXN back into the picture, and Slash holds the lead.
Not for long. I
Great
think Dan
restart.
just sent it. Dan just sent it, but he couldn't get there.
We are getting messy here all throughout the pack. Drivers are trying to make it work. We got teammates side by side, both drivers in the top 10. We are getting racy here at the front of the pack. It is chaos up here as we watch the whole field drive on by. Slash. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, Slash. Dan makes the move now on Slash, but he doesn't have the run, I think. No, he
Again?
doesn't. He actually might lose his
Wow.
fight with the dexterity.
Again, what a great job by Slash. Just holding his line.
Big tie and Kermit.
The hair getting everywhere here. Off in turn one once again. What a great drive by Slash. Trying to hold on to this lead with all of his might. What a battle we're having here.
What a spectacle. These
Oh,
restarts
crashing
have
in the back.
reminded me of the Japanese fans.
They're crashing in the back.
Wreck in the back, Jacob and Chase.
Oh, that car is mangled up. Chase's car is destroyed and Jacob involved. Restarts tend to cause some cautions here, especially as drivers get more and more aggressive. Slash will get custody of the lead once again. We are back under caution here. We'll monitor and see who will get the free pass. It looks like Matthew might be in that position, but I think we have to take a look at a few replays first before we 100% determine that. Slash is the leader. Let's see how this wreck happened for our third caution of the day here in Japan.
Let's take a look at what happens here in the mid-pack. We see battling here, JJO kind of stalling up. Jacob and Chase battle, Matthew behind, lap down. Just straight up destroys his teammate Jacob, collects Chase. Chase is hard, and I'm not sure if he stays in this race. Car's destroyed, but an absolutely just atrocious move there by Matthew, and I'm sure the officials are going to have a word about this, because that's the second time within 5 or 10 laps that he's done something like that.
Now remember, he just got in the CJ to bring out the caution that even gave him a chance to fight for the free pass. And now, he is in the free pass position, but will he be deemed as being involved in the accident? It's going to be an interesting thing to look at. Let's take another look to get a better understanding of what went wrong here.
All right, here we go into turn one. His teammate Behind JJO, Matthew sends it to the inside of him, into the quarter panel. Hard hit for Chase into the wall. Got hit on both ends and on both sides of this car. I expect that 11 won't be able to finish, but Jacob just got wrecked by his teammate. And that's the second incident Matthew's been involved in today.
I want to chime in real quick. I heard over the radio a few laps after the accident during pace laps, he said, "Don't let me see him after the race. I got nothing to lose." So we'll see what could come out post-race. But for now, Jacob has a lot of damage. Let's take one more look. Here's Matthews on board. Let's see what everyone else thinks. Washes up the track right in front of Junior, Jack, and others. And loses multiple spots. Just a dumb situation for someone that's obviously a little bit mad. Had an issue on pit road, had to pit due to a loose wheel, lost a lap. Not a great weekend for Matthew in Japan, especially after losing a lot of spots in yesterday's race there on the closing restart. We'll figure out everything that's going to happen to the 62 car prior to the restart, and we're going to have yet another shootout to the finish. All right. Matthew has been posted a lap by NAPA officials. He will be 2 laps down. So, bad the worst for Matthew. He needs insane brakes, even have a chance to get back on the lead lap. And Jacob, obviously not happy. He will be able to stay on the lead lap and try and salvage some positions. But in the meanwhile, it's Slash and Dan once again leading the field back to green. Good jump by Slash, but Dexterity is right there off of the turn 1.
He's gonna go for it, isn't he? He's gonna! And Slash in the back quarter. He might have a chance here. 3 wide for the lead. Discord bought an Anacate. Following suit behind the 99 machine. And Dexterity has the lead. Can he clear the 39 Slash? Down the back straightaway into turn 3. Dexterity has cleared him almost. Into turn 3, and he does, in fact, clear him. Dexterity to the point. Slash in second, and Dan looks like he's gonna try and get third from Discord bot. Dexterity now in the lead with girls 12 to go.
Discord bot stacked up that bottom lane. How about Anike? How about Ty late in this race making a charge? Max making moves. Mythical's fading. That highlight's not working out for him. Discord bot hangs on for now. In that 4th spot, Dan clears for 3rd. Look at Dexterity now in control. Where did he come from? Oh!
Bump and run!
Bumper! Donazar!
Slash tries to run him up the track. He did it, but Dexterity gets the runoff exit to hold the lead. 11 laps to go, but Slash is there side by side. Dan's there as well. We're going to have an all-out brawl for this win.
And the harder they fight, they might bring the 2 behind them into it. Anike, another one, having a fantastic race up into 5th place, and Ty, we talked to him all day in the middle of this race. He's up into 6th, but here comes Dan with the crossover for the lead.
Ty!
Dexterity, big blow by Discoba as well. Dan wants to get 2nd on Dexterity, Slashes in the lead. Ty to the inside, Anike as well, turn 4.
Discord bot trying to get a 3-peat. He is up here. He has worked his way forward all race long, but the car's just kind of stalled out a little bit. As I say that, he instantly gets by Dexterity. He had a great restart, but I just didn't think he has the long run car to keep up with Slash and Dan and guys like Cam that have been up here most of the day. He's just kind of been just like a 6th, 7th, 8th place car. He's got track position now, trying to fight back, Ty in the 4th. All of this because of a strategy early on in the races gave him all this track position. He is making it work, but Slash back in control. He will not be denied.
The Discord bot trying to hold P2 right now. Slash in the lead, building the lead. We have a flyby of the field. What a spectacle of a race. As I tried to say earlier, we have brought to these Japanese fans here, and This is definitely, with the product we have seen this weekend, a track of interest to possibly return to the schedule next season. But with that in mind, Dan's going to go for P2 on Discord bot. He'll get it easily. Is Ty going to get it in there, though? He wants P3. And he's going to get that inside, but he can't. He has to back off. And Discord bot's going to find counterattack right back, but he can't.
Shallow entry for Ty. He cannot hold the bottom. Vixarity's there. Anicate's there. Do not count out Cam. He had speed earlier. But Slash has been the fastest car all race. But Discord bot has worked his way forward all race long. Dan has been, I don't think he's been out of the top 5 all race long. What a redemption after just a horrible day in the Xfinity Series. He is showing that he does have some speed at this track here. As we come to 7 laps to go. It's go time here as we come to the end of this thing. And again, we're kind of seeing a little bit of breakaway. It's about 6 or 7 cars, all within about a second and a half of each other back to Cam. This is our group for the win, but Dexterity, he went for it on the restart. He made it work, but you can see he just does not have the car to keep up with these drivers battling for the win. And Anikate into the top 5. What a run for her, as all of her other teammates have been wrecking themselves all race. She had a chance here to do something crazy here. She could get up here in the end of this race, but just hasn't been able to run down this top 4. Ty's hanging on though, and of course Discord Bandana right there.
Yeah, it looks like these 4, maybe 5 Anakin gets in are under a blanket for this win potentially. Ty looked to the inside again on Discord bot. He definitely wants to make the move. It's a matter of if he can or not. As we come to 5 to go here in Japan. Slash still out up front, but he's got several guys pursuing for the win.
With the drama around Bug's team, with Matthew and Jacob, Anikate is the star, the shining star of Bug's team, running in that 5th position. But right here, we have Ty, Discord bot, Dan, all neck and neck for that 2nd position. They're not quite close enough to Slash. Slash up the road by 0.3 of a second. 5 of a second, I mean. But Dan has a pretty good exit out of turn 4. 4 laps to go as we come to the line. Slash has been dominant so far in this race, and he has 4 laps to hold on.
Oh boy, we're coming down to it. Everyone has saved their stuff to the end. Slash has been consistent, but Dan is always the one to watch out for. He does this all the time. He lurks, and waits till the last possible second. He is there with Slash. Discord bot right there as well. Slash is fighting 2 drivers that have won this season. He wants to put himself in the Winners Club early on in this season, but Dan has a run. Here he comes to the inside. 3 to go. Slash gonna put a little bit of defense, but not enough. Dan to the bottom, trying to take the lead. Here comes Discord bot. What a move! Discord bot to the bottom, and he's gonna pass them both. Oh my goodness, this
what
is
a move by that 55. He wants something we have not seen since Dan in season 4. But here comes Ty into the equation now. He wants a piece of this. He might get by this 39 before it's all over with. But Discord bot out front, 2 laps to go, and he might be wanting the crown of 3-peat.
How has the field let this happen? Discord bot, this is why he's already won 2 of them. With moves like that, he did it in Vegas. He did it at Auto Club. Now he's doing it at Motegi. All 3 races. He made late passes. Can he hang on? This is the first time he's had clean air. Can he hang on? They're side by side for 2nd though. It puts Discord bot in a great spot. Dan drives it in. We're coming to the white flag to decide the inaugural winner in Japan. Oh, Discord bot got a little bit tight. 5 cars under a blanket! White flag in Japan!
Here we go into 1 and 2. I'll take it away from here. Discord bot pulling away. Slash is dropping. He might lose 3rd to Ty. Might even lose 4th to Anakin.
Here he comes.
Here comes Ty. He wants the inside of Dan, but he can't do it. He's actually going to have an opposition on the outside there. Slash is pushing 97. Ty wants to try and secure 2nd at Discord bot. This is all music to the ears for him. Ty deep set. He gets by all of them, but it's not going to be enough. Discord bot, have yourself a 3-peat. Discord bot wins in Japan.
Unbelievable! Oh my goodness! Winner! Three-peat! Oh my goodness! What a race! What a finish! Oh my goodness! Discord bot with the move of the season, 3 wide under Slash and Dan. He steals it! Unbelievable. And Ty, I don't know if he's going to be sad or happy. That's a second place. But in the end, Discord bot gets it done. What a start to Japan for both the Xfinity and the Cup race. Unbelievable. What a race. What a win for Discord bot. Let's take a look at the finishing results. One more look. Just gotta show it one more time for everyone here. He is so far back. Dan goes off into turn 1. Slash is obviously trying to beat him into the corner. So he sends it deep. Dan sends it deep to try and counter. And Discord bot just says, thank you. He goes through, gets by them both. And he's clear. Never looked back. Ty could have had him if there was maybe another lap or so, but what a win. What a win. Let's look over the finishing results after an exciting day in Motegi. Discord bot 3-wide move to steal the win over Ty. What a pitch strategy there early in the race. Got him track position. He proved that car has some real speed. Comes on P2, Dan P3, Slash P4, and Annika rounds out the top 5. She is looking to be something this season. There's a lot of races to go, but she's making a case for herself. Vixterity comes on 6. Cam fell back to 7th. Garrett, FXM bot. Then some other drivers. Typical comes on 11th. Mythical fades back to 13th. Mac 15th. Internet 16th. Riley Davis Jr. top 20. Montana top 20. 2 decent runs. Dylan and Kerman, our front row starters, they fade the 22nd and 23rd. Just didn't have the all-around speed in the long haul. Commander fades back to 25th. Just didn't really do much all race long. Jacob recovers a 28th after his little debacle with his teammate Matthew. And then we look at the back half of the field where we see guys like Junior, Stu, and Nacho have okay days. Mike 32nd, just didn't really have the run that he was expecting. Guys like Javier and Avery stayed on the lead lap and kept the car clean mostly. Avery had a little bit of front end damage, so it's learning pieces for them. And then some of our guys that were let down, like Riku Sato, CJ, and Matthew, all 3 of those drivers were involved in some sort of accident today. And our lone DNF was Chase after getting pretty much caught up in an issue he had no reason to be a part of after contact between Jacob and Matthew. He is our lone DNF. And that will wrap it up after 2 wild races to start off the first ever races here in Japan. We head to now Mac and Chris, starting off with Mac here. Japan weekend is over. We now got to fly back to the Americas. But after a pretty awesome Japan weekend, what is your thoughts on the weekend itself and today's exciting race?
Man, I was not coming with high expectations of the oval race, but man, did it blow past the expectations. And I do hope we come back here again, but what a race. Discord bot 3-peat, another race where he makes an extremely exciting last lap move. Discord bot might be the most entertaining driver on the planet right now.
I mean, I don't really know what I can say that's any different from what Mac just said, because at Las Vegas, we witnessed him make a 3-wide move on Dan with him in a lap car, got to the lead and never looked back. At Fontana, he made a last lap pass for the lead and for the win. And in this, he made a 3-wide move for the lead while Dan and Slash were focusing on each other instead of looking in the mirror. He is a special driver, and I think the race today has also been fantastic. For the first time that NAPA Sim has been here, I think NAPA Sim should consider going to this track more often, because we put on a show here today.
Definitely an entertaining show, and I hope it was worth it all for the fans and also all the teams that had to get out here. But they all put on a show today and made it worth it. But that will do it for the inaugural weekend in Japan. Next week, the The Truck Series heads to Colorado for their inaugural race in Colorado, and then it begins a short track stretch for all 3 series. We have some wild races coming up here on MXTV here for the Napa series. Well, that will do it for myself, Chris, and Mac in the booth. I am Dylan. Thank you guys all for watching, and we will see you guys next week.